and welcome to A Good 10 Minutes, where I provide early morning market news and headline updates from the previous day in under 10 minutes. No spin, no BS, no bias. Factual, objective, apolitical, and fast. Firstly, as always, we're going to start with market updates. Rallies from the AI-related companies weren't enough to keep the major indexes from falling yesterday. S&P 500 fell 12 basis points, Nasdaq 41 basis points, and Dow fell 25 basis points. That being said, we're still overall on fire on the digital coin space. Bitcoin is up 6.46% yesterday and trading at $67,218 per Bitcoin. Other cryptocurrencies are getting to all-time records as well. All the meme coins like Dogecoin, Pepe, and Dog with Hat. Yes, that's a coin. All are soaring at this time. Let's move on now to the news updates from yesterday. Houthis could literally be cutting off the internet. We all like a good Houthi story. 4 underwater internet cables in the Red Sea were cut recently. Hong Kong telecom company HGC Global Communications said yesterday. Just as with shipping, the Red Sea is a major passageway for internet with more than 15 undersea cables connecting Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. The cuts worsened internet connection in India, Pakistan, and in East Africa, internet analyst Doug Matatori told Wall Street Journal. Though internet providers have rerouted traffic, repairs won't begin until at least next month. NHGC said about a quarter of online data that passes through the affected area has been impacted. The Houthis have denied involvement, but experts say a ship might have caused the damage. Yemen's government in exile warned last month that the insurgents could target the cables. No matter the cause, the incident is a reminder that the Red Sea is what Wired once called arguably the internet's most vulnerable place on Earth. It is a giant internet choke point. A few cables may sound minor, but despite the hype around Starlink's satellite-enabled internet, physical subsea wires still make the online world go around, as they are the cheapest and fastest way to send data. Over 99% of internet traffic between continents is transmitted via hundreds of undersea cables, according to CNET. And tech giants like Google, Facebook, and Microsoft have been building new ones, which can cost up to $350 million a pop, as per New York Times. The Red Sea is a big part of that. It sits at the nexus of a global seafloor cable network, while its shallow water serving as a conduit for about 17% of global internet traffic per data center dynamics. So some really big news coming from the Red Sea as it has been happening for the last almost 5 months now. The Supreme Court of the United States has ruled that states cannot kick Trump off primary ballots, as was cited by Colorado and 2 other states, in fact, as well, using the 14th Amendment of potential candidates participating in insurrection. The U.S. Supreme Court overturned a Colorado court's decision that former President Donald Trump was ineligible for the state's presidential primary, ruling that individual states don't have the power to keep candidates off the ballot under a constitutional clause, barring insurrectionists from holding office. That's, again, Amendment 14. The ruling effectively shuts down efforts to keep Trump off several state ballots, just as we head into Super Tuesday today. With 16 states holding their primary votes, Trump is expected to dominate the Republican contest. JetBlue and Spirit call off a $3.8 billion merger, which is a huge victory for the Biden administration's aggressive antitrust enforcement and possibly for travelers between Atlanta and Fort Lauderdale. The airlines terminated their agreement to merge yesterday, weeks after a federal judge found that the anti-competitive deal is not going to make it and blocked it. The company said that even if they could win an appeal of the decision, they didn't see a path of getting regulatory approval in time to close the deal. JetBlue will pay Spirit $69 million for bowing out of the merger, which is good news for Spirit. And the news sent JetBlue's stock up and Spirit's down. So investors did not want to see JetBlue merge, and they felt like Spirit needed to merge to stay afloat. So interesting how JetBlue went up and Spirit went down. In other news, ex-Twitter executives sue Elon Musk for severance. 4 former Twitter executives who were fired when Musk took over slapped him and the company that's now called X with a lawsuit claiming they're owed more than $128 million in severance. The group included former CEO Parag Agrawal, as well as the company's former CFO, chief legal officer, and general counsel. Their suit claims Musk won't pay them as revenge for his being forced to buy the company after he tried to back out of it, and that in order to avoid paying up, he simply fired them without reason, then made up a fake cause. Apple is in the news now as one of our tech giants that's been in the news lately. It looks like Apple was slapped with a fine of roughly $2 billion by the European Union, roughly 1.8 billion euros, after the European Union found that Apple was not playing fair in the music space. We're talking about Apple Music here. And so, Apple is apparently preventing music streamer services from telling iPhone users that they could get cheaper subscription outside of Apple's App Store, which resulted in users paying higher prices. The fine is the third largest penalty ever levied by the European Court against the company. Apple is firing back and calling out Spotify, whose 2019 complaint against Apple prompted the investigation that led to the penalty, as calling Spotify now the primary advocate for this decision and its biggest beneficiary, claiming that the Sweden-based company is the one with a monopoly in the music streaming market. And of course, Apple plans to appeal the fine. Again, massive one, $2 billion. Some news about big box retailers. Best Buy and Macy's are the latest major retail chains to announce that they will try to boost in-person business in the post-pandemic online shopping era by opening smaller, streamlined locations. Here are the plans. On top of the 24 big stores Big Buy chartered last year, the electronics chain said it will close an additional 10 to 15 more larger locations over the next fiscal year and open a number of small stores in place where it has no prior physical presence. After declining sales and department stores, Macy's announced it will close another 150 locations by the end of 2025 and open 30 smaller ones, which will measure 30,000 to 50,000 square feet, which is 20% of a Macy's at the malls. Other stores that are going in the smaller footprint mode are Nordstrom, Bloomingdale's, Target, Kohl's, Whole Foods, and even the originator of getting lost indoors, IKEA. They're betting that smaller locations with slimmer inventories and theoretically easier order pickup returns will satisfy the contemporary shopper's desire for Amazon Prime level efficiency. Best Buy and others are expanding small stores into rural and suburban areas that wealthy families moved to during the pandemic. Really quick, 6 additional news updates for you. American Airlines has ordered 260 new planes to meet growing travel demands, and it's also leaning into luxury by adding more first-class seats. Haiti declared a state of emergency after armed gangs broke 3,700 people out of prison. Gang leaders are demanding the prime minister's resignation. France became the first country to include the right to abortion in its constitution. Panera Bread isn't exempt from California's new minimum wage law for fast food workers after all. Unions could call for another Hollywood strike if crew members don't get a good deal from studios. And last but certainly not least, Trader Joe's recalled its steamed chicken soup dumplings, which may contain hard plastic from a permanent marker. That's your news update and market update for the day. I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and thank you again for giving me 10 minutes this morning. Take care. Bye-bye.